Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another ranking of 2023. This isn't really a ranking video. This is, excuse me one second, let me just, woo, there you go. Okay, that looks better. So this isn't really a ranking video. This is kind of just me talking about some movies that I was looking forward to. I thought that were going to be better, and just ended up being disappointing. They're not bad movies, per se. I want to make that very clear. Some of them I may think are bad. But some of these are actually good movies that I just wanted to be, the 10 out of 10s that I thought they were going to be. And instead they were, 6s, 7s. So yeah, that is what this video is. I'm going to have the worst of the year list coming very soon. But this video is disappointing movies of 2023. Just movies that kind of let me down a little bit. Starting with this one, Wonka. When they first announced they were going to do this prequel to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, I was not very excited about it. Then Paul King came on, who did the two Paddington movies. I love the Paddington movies. By the way, if you hear a sound, can you see that? Yeah, Chester's over there chewing on his Kong. So yeah, just so you know, that's what that noise is. So yeah, Paul, he did the Paddington movies. I love the Paddington movies. I did not think that tone necessarily would be that great for a Willy Wonka movie. I think if he had toned it down a bit, it could be really great. So I was really excited about it. Timothy Chalamet as Wonka was an interesting choice, but he's a great actor. I thought, okay. Then they announced Olivia Colman, Michael Keegan Key, and, the cast is great in the movie. And then the trailer came out. And I believe it came out right before I went to Chicago this summer, or right before I went to the Midwest this summer, I should say. And I remember going, that looks terrible in my opinion. But everyone that people I've talked to and stuff said, that looks great. And I was like, okay, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm losing my mind. Then I went to Chicago. My buddy and I were talking about it, and he's like, that looks absolutely awful. And I was like, thank you. I'm glad I'm not the only one that feels this way. I didn't think this movie was good. Spoiler alert, this might just be in my top 10 worst of 2023, in my opinion. I didn't like it at all. I thought the characters were ridiculous and cartoony. The music, it's a musical, and the music was awful. I think the gangster mob, chocolate mob, was stupid. Keegan-Michael Key is so annoying in this movie. I did not like very much about this movie. I thought special effects looked absolutely awful. It reminded me of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Honestly, it did. Just bland and boring and everything in front of a green screen. So yeah, I did not like this movie. It's being liked by a lot of people. This would be the one movie, well, not the one movie on this list. This is one of the movies, though, that I would say maybe I just don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I need to try watching this movie again. I'm not going to watch it in theaters again, I can tell you that. I don't feel like sitting on my butt for that long in a theater watching this movie. So, yeah, Wonka is one of those movies that people like, I don't. And maybe I'm just crazy one. I am crazy. We know this. Next up, guys, Next Goal Wins. This is the Taika Waititi movie that came out this year. Taika Waititi did Thor Love and Thunder last year, which I hated. But it was a Thor movie. Marvel tends to do some things sometimes to rush people or such like that. And I felt like due to COVID and stuff, that could have been part of it. Taika also, though, did one of my favorite movies of 2019, Jojo Rabbit, and I absolutely love that movie. I thought the tone was perfect. I thought everything about the movie, that movie is nearly perfect for me. So I thought, hey, his next original movie is going to be great. And when I heard it's based on a true story, I thought, okay, this could be interesting. This could be really cool, putting Taika's twist on it, and it's not. From the minute this movie started, I went, oh my God. Taika is dressed up as a weird preacher character, and he's like narrating for 2 seconds, and then that's it. And his character's annoying as hell. And then it moves on from there to tell the story, and it's just so generic. and some characters are interesting. I will say that there's some very interesting things in here. At the end of the day, it's just, God, I'm trying to be comfortable. I really need a stand or something. At the end of the day, though, it's not a good movie. It's trying too hard to be silly, trying too hard to have too much heart, and it's not written well. And that's sad to me because I really liked Jojo Rabbit. I liked Hunt for the Wilder People. I like Taika. I love Ragnarok. This movie is just very generic. It's not terrible. It's okay. I don't hate that I've seen it. Will I ever seek it out to watch it again? Probably not. You never know, though. So yeah, next goal win. Next up, The Creator. This is another one of those movies that this is not a bad movie. I want to make that very perfectly clear. This is not a bad movie. This is just disappointing, in my opinion. Gareth Edwards did great with Godzilla. I love that movie. He did great with Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan in the world, but I love Rogue One. And this is his follow-up to that. And I watched trailers and I was like, wow, this looks incredible. This movie's going to be insane. It's going to be epic. And it does look great. There are some epic moments in there, but there's also some really boring stuff in there. The ending, for me, is just kind of, we've seen this before. In fact, it honestly, you know what? It reminded me, I'm going to lay down a little bit. I hope that's okay. Now I just got to figure out how to put my face camera. Anyways, it reminded me a little bit of the ending of Rogue One, honestly, and it just felt like something I've seen before. Again, it's not terrible. It's one of the best-looking movies of 2023, I would say. It is so beautiful and had a smaller budget than a lot of movies that came out in 2023. However, it was a little boring to me. I remember checking my watch quite a few times while watching this movie. And I just kept hearing things about it. It took me a while to go see it. It just, I don't know. It ended up boring me more than it did impress me. Maybe it's one I need to check out again. It is on Hulu now, so maybe at some point I'll go back and try rewatching it again. Maybe I'll like it more. I don't know. It is an enjoyable movie, just not an amazing movie. And, from a great filmmaker like Gareth Edwards, I just was slightly disappointed. Again, great movie. I think I never did a review on this one. I think I'd give it like a 6 or 7 out of 10. It's a good movie. I just don't love this movie, is what I will say. So, woo. Next up, The Marvels. Now, this one is a little less of a surprise as far as like my I wasn't as excited for this as other movies on this list. What I will say though is it's not just Captain Marvel. I didn't like Captain Marvel that much. It's a fine movie. I didn't love it though. What did get me excited though was that we were getting Miss Marvel, who I loved in Ms. Marvel. We were getting Monica Rambeau. Is Monica Rambeau? I forget. I can't even remember now. Anyways, we were getting the gal from WandaVision. I was really excited about that. And, we were getting Nia DaCosta as a director, who did Candyman, I think was the last movie she did before this one. I can't remember. But anyways, great additions to this movie. So I was hopeful for this one. In the end, this movie is just not that great. It really isn't. There's some fun to be had with this movie, but there's also some really bad special effects, some really stupid plot points. How everything's kind of just solved at the end of this movie is dumb. Some really dumb, just really dumb things that happen. The cat situation, the musical situation. There's some really bad stuff in here. And I couldn't get on board with it. Again, I had some fun with it, which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to have fun at a movie. At the end of the day, it was just and very forgettable, and it bombed big time. It just was not that great of a movie, and it's no surprise to me that this is the worst grossing Marvel movie. Yeah, I mean, it's not rotten on the tomato meter, but it's pretty dang close, and it was for a while there. I don't think the movie's awful. It's fine. I think I gave it like a 4 or 5 out of 10 in my review. I'll stick by that, having only seen it the one time. But it's not a great movie. And it is disappointing considering back in 2019, I saw Avengers Endgame 18 times in theaters. 18. I love this franchise. I only saw this movie once. And I didn't really like it. It's terrible. Next up, guys, yeah, this is one that people are going to like me. Killers of the Flower Moon. I love Scorsese. Wolf of Wall Street, Casino, Goodfellas, Taxi Driver, Departed. I mean, there's so many great Scorsese movies. And I was so excited for this one. This is based on a true story. It's a murder, kind of like mystery kind of thing. Leo's in it. We got Robert De Niro in it. Such a great cast. I did not love Irishman the way a lot of people did. It was still, I still like had it. I think I still had it in my top 10 of 2019, if I remember correctly. It's a really good movie. It was just a movie that I was slightly disappointed by. I think the runtime kind of held it back a little bit. That was something I was worried about with this movie. I had a right to be worried about it, because boy, is this movie too long. It just feels like a bunch of stuff that just doesn't feel necessary. This movie feels like it picks up when Jesse Plemons comes in, when the FBI comes in and starts investigating. That's like 3 hours into the movie. And that's not a good time to have your movie feel like it's starting. When it's a 3.5 hour movie. So yeah, I was just bored by this one. I liked certain aspects. I just felt like a lot of things could have been taken out, edited down. I think maybe even if this had been a 3 hour movie, I would have enjoyed it more. But it was kind of boring. Acting is phenomenal across the board. There was not a bad performance in this movie. The story is really interesting. I want to read the book. And this isn't a bad movie. Going to say that right now. This is not a bad movie. Did I do a review of this movie? I don't know if I did or not. But if I didn't, I think I would give it like a 6 or 7 out of 10. Not a bad movie. It's really not. I don't see myself rewatching it though. It's so long. And I just feel like it went on a little too long. And I also feel like for as much as they were talking about how they were going to really respect the Native Americans and such like that, yeah, they definitely put in the costume effort. Yeah, they definitely made sure to include them and show things in a correct way, I would say. But at the end of the day, this movie is still, the main characters is Leo and Robert De Niro. Yeah, Lily Gladstone has a very important part, but I wouldn't call her a lead. It's Leo and Robert De Niro. It's about Leo and Robert De Niro taking down these group of people. I just think it should have been, I think it would have been a more interesting story. I haven't read the book, like I said. I want to. I hear the book is more through the eyes of like the FBI and them investigating all this and slowly finding it. I think that would have been a better movie. I really do. And I think Leo was first cast as the FBI detective. Don't quote me on this. I thought that's what I heard. And instead they were like, well, let's make him the lead character. And then they brought in Jesse Plemons. And so I just think it would have been better if Leo had been this, the FBI searching for this group and done it that way. So yeah, it's not a bad movie. It's really not. I really enjoyed it. It's just, I was just disappointed. It was way too long, and I was just bored, and I never want to watch it again. If I'm being perfectly honest, I don't think I ever want to watch this movie again. It's too much. Next up, 65. You got Adam Driver in there. You got the writers of Quiet Place in there. You got this cool premise where Adam Driver is in a land of dinosaurs. That sounds awesome. Jurassic Park is literally that plot essentially, except this isn't 65 million years ago. This movie was just bland and boring and had the dumbest twist at the end of the movie ever. I barely remember any of it. It came out in March, but still, I just don't remember it at all. And I just remember going, what? And it was just not good. It's hard for me. I'm gonna lay way back down, guys, like this. Yeah. No, I'm not gonna do that. No. See all the dog toys? See, look at this. My dog, that's all his dog toys. Look at all this. This is a nightmare. Anyways, so yeah, this movie it wasn't what it should have been. You know, this could have been a really cool science fiction action movie in the vein of like the Jurassic Park, and it just was boring. It was so boring. You know, I remember there was a little girl, and I don't remember the relationship necessarily, but it was just boring. It was an awful movie. No, there was some interesting visual effects. All the action that happened in this movie, like the camera turned away. It was like, what do you want? What do you want? Hey, that dinosaur's dead. What? No. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. There was some decent special effects. Adam Driver is just a great actor. It's an interesting premise. The movie itself was just, it wasn't good. It's not that great of a movie, and I wish it had been more. Next up, Beau is Afraid. Now, here's an opinion that not everyone's going to agree with me on. I didn't like Hereditary that much. I mean, I still think it's a good movie, like a 6 out of 10. I think I talked about this earlier the year before I went and saw Beau is Afraid. I didn't love that movie, though. I love Midsommar. I think that movie's so great, so creepy, so good at building tension. It's not necessarily a horror movie, it's more of a thriller. And I liked that about that movie. The tension in that movie is so great. So when I found out that Ari Aster was doing another movie, it is another 3-hour-long movie, kind of like what Midsommar was. It has great leading actor in Joaquin Phoenix, not long after his Oscar win here. It's him playing like different versions of himself or something. The trailer didn't give anything really away. So I was like, yeah, I am on board for this weird, trippy, awesome looking movie. This movie is so long, so boring, so trying to be controversial, and just trying too hard to be weird, in my opinion. The Mariah Carey thing and how she has to stop it, I don't know what is going on with this movie. Excuse me. And it feels like 6 different movies. Like, when the movie first started, I was like, okay, this is a great movie. And then it goes on to something completely different at the doctor's house, played by Nathan Lane. And then it goes on to other things, and it's just, where is this movie going? What is it doing? What is the purpose? What is the point? I don't know. I just could not get into this movie. I did not think this movie was good at all. I thought this movie was absolutely horrible. I'm struggling to remember things again. Again, I believe this one came out in March or April, so it has been a while. At the same time, it was just bad. I remember just hating myself for wasting 3 hours sitting in the theater watching this movie. Adequately made, adequate direction, but there's also a penis monster at the end. What is going on in this movie? So yeah, Beau is Afraid. Next up, another Marvel movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Now again, I'm a huge Marvel fan. Last year, we got Thor: Love and Thunder, we got Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness, and did we get one more? I forgot. I don't remember. Point is, Doctor Strange was a decent movie. I didn't love it. Thor: Love and Thunder was down. Oh, Black Panther. I really enjoyed Black Panther. I bought it on 4K during Black Friday. It's a good movie. But at the end of the day, I did go, 2022 was disappointing for Marvel movies. But we're introducing Kang. This is going to be... We're not introducing it. We're introducing Kang in the movies, anyway. It's like, okay, this is going to be great. Kang is sucky in this movie. I mean, he's destroyed by ants. Movie's called Ant-Man and the Wasp. There's no wasp in this movie. She does like 2 things. Some really stupid stuff. Some really bad special effects. It's a terrible script. That MODOK crap. I mean, this movie was just not good. It was bad. I need to rewatch it. I got Disney Plus through work for free. I think I might watch this maybe tonight. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm gonna do. I did not enjoy this movie at all. I wanted to. I really did. And I hated it. It was just, there's really bad jokes. I remember there was jokes for the weird people down in the multiverse, or the, whatever you want to call, quantum realm. And the ending was just dumb too. It was a cop-out. Like, I thought for sure Scott was going to be stuck in the quantum realm, which he already technically kind of was-ish. Yeah, this movie made me go, oh boy, Marvel has run out of steam, hasn't it? Even though Black Panther was the last movie we saw of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I was like, this feels more like Love and Thunder. The Marvel's release date got pushed back. There was hearing some things. I mean, this isn't good. 2023 is not going to be a good year for Marvel movies either, I guess. And, well, it wasn't. Because I have 2 of the 3 movies that came out on this list. So, yeah, this movie just wasn't good. And now we don't have Jonathan Majors. I wonder what they're going to do with this Kang stuff. Are they going to recast it? I need to watch Loki Season 2 as well. Maybe I'll watch that tonight instead. I know there's more stuff in there that might give him a send-off. I don't know. More to come, I guess, with that. But, yeah. Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumanium was just bad. Oh, got my phone. Next up, Ringfield. I was really excited for this one, guys. It came out the week after my birthday. I was like, what a great birthday movie. Like an action comedy vampire movie with Nicolas Cage as Dracula. Like, I love that casting. Nicholas Hoult, such a great character. Awkwafina, great cast. This movie was just kind of nothing. There was some really great moments with Nicolas Cage. Really great moments with Nicolas Cage and Nicholas Hoult, the Nicholases. Then there's just this other plot with Awkwafina that is taking up way too much of the runtime of this movie. Something, I don't even remember what it was. Something about her dad, and they need to find these mobsters, something. I can't remember. It just wasn't good. There was some moments, again, not a bad movie. It's fine. I think I gave it like a 4 or 5 out of 10. I would watch this one again when I'm drinking or under the influence of marijuana, some ganja, some pot. I would maybe watch this movie again. But other than that, this isn't a good movie. I don't have much to say about this one because, again, I don't remember much. I remember being over the top, ridiculous, which was fun. But it just didn't stick to what it should have been. And that was my biggest disappointment with this movie. It's like, this should have just been a fun, Nicolas Cage being a vampire movie. And it just, I don't know what this movie is. Like, what? It felt like 2 different movies. It felt like someone wrote this Dracula movie with Nicolas Cage. Someone wrote this revenge cop mob kind of movie, and they just put it all together, and, hey, we're going to make it into this one movie. And, yeah, that's what we got. So, yeah, not a good one. This one kills me to put on this list, but Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I was really excited. Well, I shouldn't say that. After watching Kingdom of Crystal Skull, I was like, good, let's put Indiana Jones to rest. That movie was so bad, it just ran to the ground. That's fine. And then they announced this movie. I went, wait a minute. Harrison Ford's 80 years old. No, we don't need an 80-year-old Indiana Jones. I don't like the sound of that. Steven Spielberg was going to do it. He ended up not doing it. And we got James Mangold. James Mangold is a director I really like. Ford vs. Ferrari, Logan, The Wolverine. Great director. So I was more excited for it. I got more and more excited for it. COVID kind of happened. You know, we started hearing some cast, which is great. The cast is wonderful. I heard, we heard that there was going to be de-aged Harrison Ford, which after watching like The Irishman, I was like, mm-mm. And I went and saw this in IMAX. I don't like that the beginning with Indiana Jones de-aged. It wasn't terrible, but you could still hear old man Harrison Ford in the voice, and it just didn't sound right. What's his name? The bad guy, I forget what's his name. Not Benedict. What's his name? I can't remember. Benicio? Not Benicio. What's his name? Anyways, bad guy should have died at the beginning of this movie, or at least had some scars or something. Nope, he's fine. He shows up years later. Indiana Jones is just a sad old man that wants to die. He was Batman, but Batman's not 80 years old. The adventure they go on is fine enough. The kid that they recruit that just knows how to fly a plane, that was dumb. He was just trying too hard to be Short Round. He should have just got Ke Huy Quan to come back and had an adventure with Short Round again. That's what you should have did. And it was just, It was fine. Lots of bad visual effects in this movie. You could tell that there were stuntmen with the little face things on their face to turn it into Harrison Ford's face. I did not like the ending of this movie. Going back in time did not bug me necessarily. It was when they went back in time, it felt like the Romans or wherever, I forget where they went, were just cartoon characters. I'm like, what is going on? And then Indiana Jones going, I want to stay here with him. No, you don't. Indiana Jones did not go, oh, the Holy Grail's here. I want to stay with this knight. That's so stupid. I hated that so much. And then the fact that he gets punched out by his niece and goes back to Marion, who is getting a 3-second cameo, and that's it. I was just really disappointed by this movie. Again, I don't think this movie's terrible. It's enjoyable enough. It's not an Indiana Jones movie good. To me, this movie is about as good as Kingdom Crystal Skull. I don't think Kingdom Crystal Skull is a terrible movie. I think it's fine. It's not great. The same thing with this. They just don't feel like Indiana Jones movies. I think if you were to slap any kind of different character's name on here and just call it, Dial of Destiny, maybe it would be more interesting if it was more like an Uncharted kind of movie vibe. Fine, but not Indiana Jones. Like, come on. What are you doing to Indiana Jones? Don't do it. I hate that. Next up, Transformers, Rise of the Beasts. Whoa! I'm sorry. Don't leave me now. Hold on, I want to make sure something here. There we go. Okay. I think we're still going here. Oh, good. Okay. Sorry I dropped you there. Transformers, Rise of the Beast. I did not like any of the Michael Bay Transformer movies. The first one's fine. The third one even is fine because it takes place in Chicago, essentially. I really liked Bumblebee. It's a really, really good movie. And then this movie was announced, and Stephen Cable Jr., who did Creed 2, I believe, was announced as directing this movie. I went, okay, that sounds interesting. We got all the cool, the ape character, the hawk character, all the cool animal Transformers. They're in this movie. I was like, great, this is going to be awesome. This movie's not bad. I want to really say that. It's like a 6 out of 10 for me. I didn't love all the characters. I still kind of felt like they were kind of one note. Better than like Shia LaBeouf. Better than Marky Mark, I can tell you that. But they were just still not there. I found the ending of this movie just to be extremely terrible. With the whole G.I. Joe thing. And then just the end battle where, I can't remember his name, but the main character guy is all of a sudden given a Power Rangers suit. And he's saving the day. I just didn't enjoy that. At least he wasn't going, Bendis! The whole time. But yeah, it was just a slightly disappointing movie for me. I didn't think it was all that great. It was fine. It was enjoyable. It had its moments, but I didn't love this movie. This is one I definitely want to try rewatching again, though. I feel like maybe I was tired that day or something, and I think I would have enjoyed it more, because it is a fun movie. Not a perfect movie. And I just wanted it to be more. Going from Bumblebee to this, I hope that animated movie that comes out of Transformers is going to be great. That's all I can say. Next up, Shazam! Fury of the Gods. I loved Shazam. The first one, 2019, came out, I think, the same weekend as my birthday. It was a really fun, enjoyable movie. Had a lot of heart. It was funny. It was really good. And we got this movie instead. Again, not terrible. Had way too much product placement. Taste the rainbow. I still had fun with these heroes and such. Zachary Levi is not playing the kid he's playing, though. That bugged me. Helen Mirren was a great villain. I forget her name. The other villainesses with her did great. Some really good stuff here. It's just, it was disappointing. It was just very bland and boring compared to the first one. And I just wanted more from it. Some visual effects. I still had fun with it, though. It's just not a great movie. And, it's been on Max for quite a few months now. And I just haven't gone back to rewatch it because it's just And why waste my time watching And this is my last one. I think this might be one of the ones that people are definitely screaming me at for. Because I thought Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 was absolutely boring. One of the most boring movies of the year, in my opinion. There's some great moments, don't get me wrong. The airport scenes are great. The car chase scene is great. Some of the fights are great. I thought when they're on top of the train fighting, great. When the train is going over the cliff, you can tell that's green screen. And it looked so bad, in my opinion. The cliff jump, I think, was ruined by the little sneak peek preview that they showed of it in IMAX and stuff. I thought it looked cooler without the visual effects of the mountain than it did with the visual effects of the mountain. I would have liked to have just seen him just jump off a ramp. And it just ended up being disappointing. I don't like that we added in, what's Agent Carter lady, Haley Atwell. I didn't like her character. Just stick with Elsa. I don't understand why we needed to kill off Elsa not once, but twice. Yeah, Vanessa Kirby's great in this movie. I hate the Entity. I think that's what they called it. I don't like that AI is the villain in this. I just thought that was really stupid. Again, not a bad movie. I just found it kind of boring. And it was way too long. It's almost 3 hours long. Movies got to stop doing this. We need to be 3 hours. No, you don't. Yeah, some great action sequences. Don't get me wrong. Some beautiful action sequences. But after Fallout, no. This was so boring compared to Fallout. Fallout is just nonstop amazing. This movie is I wanted more from it. I really did, and I was extremely disappointed. Again, not a terrible movie. Not at all. Just not what it should have been, in my opinion. Especially after, getting the Tom Cruise. People are relying on this. These people's jobs. So you do your job or you get out. That crap. And I think that's my last one. Okay. So yeah, guys, those are just some of the movies that I saw this year that were just a little disappointing. Most of these movies are not bad. I think only maybe one or two I would say is bad. The Marvel movies, essentially. Everything else are good movies. I just wanted more, So yeah, I'm probably going to have a review of a movie or something tomorrow for you. And then I will probably do surprising movies of 2023. And we're going to go from there. So yeah, guys, I hope you were having a great night. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. I hope you guys have a great night. Yeah, have a good one. Please tell me, what movies were you disappointed by this year? Even if they are considered good movies, what was disappointing for you? Other than that, guys, you have yourself a great night. I'm going to lay back and watch something.